In this video, I'll show you a free-to-play team to beat up this dog. I'll be using FLEURET for this team. He is actually not that bad here, even though the dog resists wind, so I need to bring a windbreak persona to help with that. So the dog has the element thing, so you need Vino here, because more elemental elements means more damage. And then Assassin, 20% damage. So FLEURET is good here because he is an assassin. That is nuclear for Makoto, of course, which I won't be using here. I'm gonna make a separate video for this one. So for the dog, it's a souls. So you summon 4 souls, and when you kill the souls, they will transfer the element to the dog. This is gonna take like 10 turns. My rotation is like 10 turns. So if you don't kill the souls quick enough, they might start to do big damage to you and it's gonna suck. And then when you enter the second phase, the souls will vanish. And also this virtue state thing will disappear. So the virtue state is basically resistance to all the elements here, so it takes less damage. So phase 2, it won't have the resistance. So the gimmick honestly doesn't really matter that much other than inflicting elements. Just remember to inflict some elements on the dog constantly, which is why Vino is good here. So this is the team. So let's start with our DPS again, FLEURET. It's always FLEURET. So FLEURET here, I'll actually be using all of the... no, except for skill 1. I'll be actually using skill 2 here because AoE. This will damage the souls because I want the souls to die. So skill 2 is actually useful here. So if you want, you can level it up to slightly higher. I don't recommend using this to upgrade, of course. This is the limited material. The moment you see this, just stop. And skill 3 to do the big damage. Highlight can also do some decent damage. And of course, remember to inflict wind sweep if possible. Now revelation card is a power set for attack damage, attack buff and more damage. Then the 4-star weapon also for more damage. And then the stat screen. We can talk about Vino, our debuffer. Vino is also pretty good here. So Vino will be using all 3 of this, all 4 actually. Skill 1, skill 3 you will pretty much rotate. Other than the turns where you want to kill the souls, you use skill 2. This is 2 AoE damage and 2 AoE elemental element spread. So FLEURET can do more damage with his skill 2 because the elements thing doesn't apply to the boss only, it also applies to the minions. So more elements on the minions means that the minions will take more damage. Then we have the cards. The cards I get to departure control for the debuff here, mainly for the debuff. You don't need prosperity set for this fight because the rotation, the highlight doesn't matter that much for the first turn. For the first phase, I mean. The 4-star weapon for more attack and also more debuff. And then we have the stat screen. Again, my Vino is still not yet built because I still don't have the card because I haven't found the cards. But it still works. Then we have Lufel for the sustain, of course. Lufel is also quite important. You can also inflict the burn. Burn is quite good here because you can do like 20-30,000 damage every time you burn, every time the opponent takes action, which is free damage. And then he can also heal skill 3. And the highlight also can heal and also buff attack for 1 turn. So he is quite good here. I'm using him over Morgana because of the burn. More damage as well as more variety. If I use Morgana, because of the personas I chose are all like wind sweep. So it's a bit pointless to have another wind sweep character like Morgana, so might as well bring Lufel for the burn. So we have wind sweep and burn guaranteed almost all the time, and then Vino can settle the other 2 elements. Then the cards, I get the love set to heal more, and then we have the weapon, which is more attack and more heal. Then this is the stat screen. Our navigator Okian, she is there to buff a bit of elemental elements, and of course to buff the damage. So FLEURET can do more damage here. The cards, power set again for the attack buff because she scales attack, and then 4-star weapon, which is attack and more chance of getting the bit stacks, which will buff damage when you activate the pulsating rhythm with 4 bit stacks. And this is the stat screen. Now for the persona, this is rather important. Oh no, before that, the weapon. I use the new weapon, the Arc Knife, because it's, you know, elements and stuff, right? So if you have 4 elements and you do damage, you will inflict 18% defense debuff for 2 turns, 4.5% times 4 elements, which is a lot. 18% debuff is pretty good. That's why I'm using this. If you struggle to tank, just use the second palace weapon. You'll sacrifice a bit of damage, but surviving the first phase is more important because if you don't survive, you can't even do damage in the first place. So the personas are rather important, I would say. First one, Narcissus. Make sure to give him Rakunda for the debuff. Spike is also quite important for wind sweep and also the debuff from the passive. Next up we have Norn. Norn, I'll actually be using her highlight here. This is to grant the shield. Because on turn 5, he will use Agidyne, which will all-call you if you don't have the shield. Unless you're very high level, then you probably don't need it, but just to be safe, the highlight here for the shield. And Garudan here to inflict wind sweep and also debuff with the passive here. Then Jatayu is also useful. Tarukaja, you don't really need this. I just put this here just in case I need it, but I don't need it because I don't have the rotation, I don't have the time to set up Tarukaja, Rakunda, Spike, Garuline. You don't have enough to set up. And defense debuff is usually better than attack buff, so that's why I focus more on defense debuff. Garula is really good, especially to do some damage to the souls as well as inflicting the wind sweep. So you can take out the souls in 2 turns. Then windbreak, arguably the most important move in this entire fight actually, because if you didn't know, if you use a wind move on a wind resisted target, it will do 50% damage only, so half. So if you use windbreak, you will technically pretty much double your damage because you remove the resistance, so you're gonna do 100% of the damage. So this is very important. This is pretty much like a 2 times buff to your damage, so it's really good. Then Garula can also debuff, I think I said already, can debuff here. So AoE debuff on the souls is quite nice also. And with that, we can begin. So first turn, Vino skill 1 to inflict a bit of elements, and then we can use Garuda in here. Ideally wind sweep. No wind sweep, that's fine. Because the first phase doesn't really matter that much. What matters more is tanking. Then we can use skill 3. We should do quite little damage. Only 3.6. That's pretty bad. That's a lot of damage, but it's okay. Now we can skill 3, Okian. Okay, then we can skill 2 with Vino. So if the souls are summoned, right, you actually do want to take out the souls, mainly so that you can tank more. And hopefully all of them get the element. Okay, 3 of them. That's good enough. We do want to kill them in like 2 turns, including this turn. So this turn, next turn, you do want to kill them all before they start doing damage and kill you. Now we can go Garula. This will target all of them. And hopefully they all get wind sweep, ideally. Okay, 4 out of 5 got wind sweep, that's good. Then since we hit the weakness, we can actually do 1 more. So we can use Lufel here. Which is why Lufel is also better with compared to Morgana, so you can do the chain, and also since Lufel is a different element, you can burn. Because if we use Morgana, it's wind sweep. Then I'll use Vino on the most right side because it's not resisted to nuclear. It's 10k, it's pretty good. Now I'll use Lufel's highlight here. Using it now will allow me to use it later again. So Lufel doesn't have to use the healing move, which costs a lot of SP. So we can just skill 1. Doesn't matter much. I'll just attack this one to get it burned. Then we actually use skill 2 with FLEURET. This is one of the few times I actually use it because it's AoE. Okay, that's decent damage. Oh, this is getting a bit dangerous. I think the dog is gonna use Mahama on now. Oh, yeah, it's really bad. Oh no. Okay, everybody survived. That's quite lucky because Mahamon has a chance to insta kill if your HP drops below half. So that's good. So skill 2 with Vino. Remember that it doesn't really matter that much about like the guess rotation. Doesn't matter too much. What matters is nearing to the end of the fight. The first phase, I mean. Now I'll just use Gaudai on the dog. We take inside piece. Okay, very good. Lufel, we definitely need to heal here. I think I have to target Vino here because her health is super low. To make sure that she's full. Then skill 2. Pretty sure this kills. Because we also have the 1 more. Okay, very good. Okay, only have 1 more. This will kill. Okay. Skill 1 Okian. So now I'll actually use Wonder's highlight here. This is rather important because next turn the boss is going to use Agidine, which will insta-kill you if you don't have a shield. Then we skill 3 Vino, debuff. When the dog drops below like 40,000 to be careful, because the burn damage can do like 20 or 30k damage, so I need to be careful. No wonder I will use Spike. No wonder skill 3 again, we need to heal. We can target FLEURET for the Sapphire. FLEURET can still use skill 3 here, the HP is still a lot. Once the HP is low, you need to consider using skill 2 instead, because you don't want to kill it too fast. Okay, and it's also... and I also don't use Windbreak yet because I don't want to kill it so fast first. I'm gonna stall a bit more to start setting up. And also I need to guard with Wonder as well. His SP is super low, so I'll actually guard with him this turn. So skill 3 Okian. My rotation is about 10 turns total. Exactly 10 actually. So skill 1. Then Wonder, you can cut just to get better SP. Highlight, I won't be using anyone's highlight. I'll be using maybe Luther's one next turn. But Luther, since everybody is still a lot of his HP, I'll just guard just to get a bit of SP back. FLEURET skill 3. Okay, a bit of damage. Okay, we are fine. We know skill 3. Then Wonder Garodine, you hopefully win sweat. Very good. That's very good. Luther will use skill 3. Target FLEURET again for the Sapphire. FLEURET skill 3. Okay, let me check the HP first. 93k should be fine. Okay, we should be okay. We should kill it in 2 turns, the next 2 turns. So now it's the 7th turn. Skill 1. The rotation might not work for you. It also depends how strong your FLEURET is. If FLEURET is too strong or too weak, then it might not work. So you might have to readjust some stuff. So skill 1 Vino. I'll actually use, I think, to fail's highlight here. Yeah, I'll use the first highlight here. Then Wonder is gonna Rakunda. Debuff. Then Lufio can just skill 1 here to burn. FLEURET skill 3 maybe? Actually, you know what, I think I'll skill 2 instead. Then skill 3 can do 30,000 damage now. Oh no, actually no, it's fine. I forgot, I don't have the Windbreak yet. I can skill 3 safely. Let's see how much damage burn does. Yeah, 25k damage from burn. Okay, this turn the dog will die. So thankfully everything is in rotation right now. Skill 3 with Okian. So we will kill the dog, the first phase this turn. Oh, I didn't take into account Vino's SP. So I guess I can guard here. Yeah, I think I can. Yeah, because the dog is gonna die this turn, so it won't actually get its turn. So I think I'm safe. Because you ideally want to kill it with FLEURET instead of him dying, killing himself. So it doesn't get the turn. So it doesn't get the reduction to the turn. Yeah, I can actually guard here. He still has the skill 1 debuff, so I can guard. Thankfully, everything is still fine. Now we Windbreak. The Windbreak should last until the end. Lufio can skill 1. This shouldn't kill, I think. Oh, not even close. What am I thinking? Of course it doesn't kill. Okay. FLEURET skill 3 should kill. I hope. Okay, yeah. Very good. Now we enter the weakened state. Everything is going well. Now I just need to double check the debuff it has. Yep, the skill 1 debuff is still active. Everything still has 1 turn, so things are looking good. But I will actually use Venus highlight here to re-inflict some of the ailments and also do a bit of damage. Okay, very good. And now I will use skill 3 here. Thankfully the skill 1 buff is debuff still has, the dog still has, so I can skill 3. Garudai, hopefully windswept, please. You have the windswept. Okay, very good. I think I have pretty much most of the debuffs available. You can skill 1 here also. Let me check the Starfire actually. We don't have the Starfire. I can gamble and use skill 1. You know what, let's gamble a bit. I hope FLEURET gets the Starfire. Okay, he does. Very, very good. This skill 3 should do pretty good damage. So look at the amount of debuff it has. Insane. Oh my god. The power creation from the dagger. 18% defense debuff here. Bunch of defense debuff. Let's see if FLEURET stats. 5,000 attack isn't that impressive, but he should still do really good damage. So skill 3 should do quite a lot. 30,000. Yeah, 40,000. That's good damage. Take burn damage. Very good. Now we skill 1. This is the turn where we do massive damage. This is gonna be huge damage. That one was like 40k, right? I'm pretty sure it will do more. So skill 1. Wonder will use spike. Debuff. Okay, now yeah, it will do more damage because that's how it didn't have the spike debuff. So we fail. Can still use skill 1 here. Doesn't matter. Do a bit more damage. Just a bit more. FLEURET highlight. Let's see. How much is it? 387. Okay. His skill 3 should do more than 40k. I'll be surprised if it doesn't. Let's go. Last turn. Yeah. 46. Wow. Pretty sure it's a new record. 8.6 million with a free-to-play team. That's very impressive. So my total score for free-to-play team is about 11.7 million, which honestly is pretty good.